Hello everyone, Tally and Farrell here from Bored of It. Welcome back to our channel.
Today we're going to introduce a new feature, or at least try it out. And this is going to be a look back at what we've been playing in the previous month. So this video is going to be a look back at March 2021. And in the first take, I said March 2020, and which shows how meaningless time has become.
Nobody wants to go back there.
We're still there, aren't we? So yeah, the thing is that one of the great things about having a channel is that we get to speak to so many people about what they're playing and what they like and give recommendations and hear recommendations. But obviously, if we only put out 4 reviews a month, give or take, we're only talking about 4 games in the main sense of things. But obviously, we play quite a lot more. So this is just a little feature where we're going to talk about some of our highlights of the previous month, discuss them in a general manner, and yeah, hopefully we can discuss them with you after in the comments.
Yeah, just to give a shout out to some more games, right? Because we play so many, we'd love to talk about all of them, but we can really only do kind of 1 review a week at most, so we want to talk about some others.
And yeah, also some of them, it's just more that we'll probably never review like Le Havre, for example, because it's quite an old game. I think a lot of people have played it. I don't think people would be interested in a full review, like that kind of thing, but it's still fun to talk about and discuss. So we're going to introduce them, and we've come up with little awards for each of them. So the first game that's going to be up is the game that receives the award for how much wheat is too much wheat. And that is Polis. Tali, would you like to introduce Polis?
Polis is a 2-player game set in ancient Greece, and you'll be playing as either Sparta or
Athens.
I knew it was the place name, but Athenians is the, I suppose, correct term. Spartans and Athenians.
Yep.
It's a bit of territory control, but actually very resource management driven.
Heavy resource management.
There is some combat in there as well, since it's territory control. But
is there?
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more.
So I think this will be one that we discuss the least, just because we're actually putting a review out at the end of the week for this. So we don't want to ruin it too much. But I think we literally got this at the start of the month, and we've played it quite a lot. I've played it a bit more because I've played with some friends. And it's very tight, but it's actually a bit of a surprise because it seems like it'd be a war game, but it's actually more of like an economic resource management game, like you said.
Definitely.
So when you say what you like about it?
I like, is this like where it is so tight, like you say, so it becomes like such a puzzle. You really have to optimize what you're doing. So the stakes are quite high, but then it's also quite satisfying when it pays off, I guess. Yeah. I like it more than I thought I would, because I don't typically like combative territory control games so much, but it actually hasn't really featured in any of our games, and it is more about resource management and satisfying to do it, because it's such a tight puzzle. You always just need like one more resource and you can't get it, and it's in this game there's like no way often of getting it once you don't have it until like the next round, or so satisfying puzzle, I would say. Yeah,
exactly. I think the first game I played, I was like, this reminds me of Barrage in the feel of it, not in the way it plays, but the feel of like you never have enough. And there's 7 things you want to do, and you can maybe do one of them if you scrape together some resources. But what I do like is that the more you play this, the more it opens up, because you learn how it works, and you'll get higher and higher scores, and it'll become looser while still being this like chunky puzzle.
That's true. In our first game, which was the only one that I've actually managed to win, unfortunately for me, I preferred it in the beginning when we didn't really know what we were doing.
I fell into a trap, right, and then I messed up bad.
Yeah. It was extremely tight, but like you said, it gets easier, but still remaining a very tight puzzle. I also like something that's based on true history.
It's a cool theme.
I like that, like real places and real maps. That's always bonus points for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're doing a review, so we won't spoil too much. So this one's out, and then we'll talk about something we aren't doing a review of. So next up.
What's the next award?
The next award is the most wholesome award. Or the most wholesome game award, I should say. So would you like to introduce?
It's the fuzzies. The fuzzies.
You can talk about it and I'll do a practical well, actually, I need to take a lid off. But you can talk about it and I'll do a practical demonstration.
In the fuzzies, there's a tower of fuzzies, which are little fluffy balls. I guess it's like a Buckaroo Jenga sort of game where you basically just taking fuzzies from the tower, which that tower is very precarious already.
Yeah.
And the person who makes the tower tip over or makes more than 10 fuzzies from the tower
Can I make it fall over immediately?
will be the loser.
This is not good.
But what's fun along the way is that you have these cards that tell you which colour fuzzy that you need to take from the tower. And you have to take one
this is really
from the
embarrassing.
side of the tower. And you have to always place it higher than from where you took it from. So that's the jeopardy. And if you lose some fuzzies along the way in your next turn, you have to do like a forfeit. And the cards tell you what the forfeits are. So it could be, okay, this one is your next fuzzy. You have to put it on the highest point in the tower. It has to become the highest point. Or this one is do elephant arms. That's fun. Or it can be use your non-dominant hand. But they can stack up to 3. So it's always pretty hilarious when someone's doing elephant arms, non-dominant hand, and then you have to use your index and forefinger. Yeah. It's really fun, isn't it? And it's really cute.
So this was also actually designed or co-designed by the designer of Wavelength, quite popular party game, one of the hits of like the last couple of years in the party game scene. But yeah, this is, I mean, there's not much to it, but it's fun. It's fun enough. We laugh a lot. It's one of those games that sometimes you're like, because obviously we play a lot of heavy games, you're like, not sure about fuzzies now. But then everyone's just like giggling and laughing within like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we always get this out at the end of the night, don't we? After we've been playing something heavy and we're like, let's have a quick round of fuzzies before everyone goes home.
But yeah, it's always nice to have little party games.
Yeah,
but
it is very, very cute.
Yeah.
And it's very well made as well, like very high quality. The fuzzies are really, sounds really stupid to say that.
High quality fuzz balls.
High quality fuzzies.
All right. But yeah, so I mean, that's fuzzies, and that's something we enjoyed, and we've been playing here and there at parties and stuff. Well, not really parties, but just, to chill out. So I guess next up, we will have the award for game you'll introduce to your mother, which was also our last review, My City. And this is a legacy tileline game that we essentially played the entire legacy in a week, which is like 24 games, but each game's only like 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, we love this, rinsed it.
I've had a lot of comments on Instagram and the video that we put out that lots of other people have also been smashing through it in like a week as well. Very addictive little game. And you're just like, one more game. Yeah. Really great fun. Almost like it's sad that it's over so quickly. It's so addictive that you smash through it so quick, but it's kind of sad that it's over now. Yeah. But since we only played 2-player and it goes up to 4, we've got 2 spare boards, and we're gonna go through the campaign again, aren't we, with our spare boards? I think 1 or 2 things we might be missing like 1 or 2 stickers or something. I was thinking about this, but we're going to try and do something with the 2 spare boards and like at least play through it again, maybe in like a year or something if we don't do it with them. But like that's how much fun we had doing it, right? And it's not maybe like the tiling thing isn't like our favorite game. It's not the things we play the most. We're usually heavier stuff, but it was honestly really addictive for me personally. Yeah, I think we've got a few like tile laying games quite recently, like within the last few months, and I think I actually really like that. Yeah, soothing, category. Relaxing. Yeah, really liked it, and it was good quality as well, like we said in our review. Yeah.
Yep.
Very fun game.
And yeah, we cover this a lot more in the review. So if you want to know in depth, check it out. There were some things we didn't like about it, but really on the whole, it was an incredible experience.
Yep.
Okay, so the next award is the What Are You Guys Playing award. And that goes to Merv because...
It's a really coveted award.
because it is beautiful when it's on the table. Everything about the art design and that is really cool. The components are really nice. You got little wooden camels.
So cute.
Which are great little meeples. It's just the color scheme, the artwork, the way it looks, because you have this central board that you put little houses on. It just really captures the eye, and it's most pretty out of any of the games we're talking about, and at least bright, because Brass Birmingham's pretty bright as well. But
yeah, very visually pleasing, but the art is by Ian O'Toole, so...
Ian O'Toole, obviously one of the best artists in the board game.
Sure. Yeah.
But, so what it's like is, I guess it's like a Euro, right? And it actually reminds us a lot of Vital Lacerda game. It's almost like, you could say, a beginner in some ways. Like, it's a little less complex. It's good fun. If you're playing with 2 players, there's a little variant where you kind of use like a third player to interrupt what the other people are doing. But yeah, what did you think about Merv?
Yeah, I really liked it. It did take me a game or 2 to figure out how everything kind of linked or didn't link together. It was, like you said, a bit Vital Lacerda for me in the beginning. I was like, there's so much going on. There's lots of different routes that you can take. I mean, I liked it from the beginning. I just couldn't work it out. I
think the issue is that I think in Vital Lacerda games, this is why it's almost a beginner, or in Vital Lacerda's games, everything tends to interlink really. He designs them really masterfully, and that everything is pushing like one thing, and it's like constant chain or rotation. Whereas the thing with Merv is that some of it, some aspects just don't touch on other aspects, which I think makes it quite hard when you're first learning it, because there's so many different things you can, in actions. There's like 10 actions or something maybe, but it's like you can go and pick up like spices. You can go and trade for like these little good tokens. You can, what can you do? You can go up like a mosque track, and all these things might never impact on another. And the first time you play, before you figure out the system, it's like, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that. And it's just like, you're not helping yourself by doing 2 separate things. It's like focus on one or focus on 2 and combine them. And that's kind of the trap, is that it's like, not that I don't like it, but it is a bit like me and Tally could play a game and never interact on any aspect and come out with like a similar score just because I go at the Moss track and you go for trading or something, right?
Yeah.
And contracts. And
definitely.
It's like,
I think that's why I struggled in the beginning, because I was doing everything a bit averagely, because I was expecting it all to interlink so much. And it kind of does, like, to get the favour points, you have to do certain actions to get the bonuses, but it's not as everything's not as interlinked. So I was just thinking that it was, and then I think in my last game it just clicked a little bit more for me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on the Moss track and do everything a little bit less. And well, I mean, I still lost actually, but
no, I definitely
it clicked a bit more anyway.
I definitely enjoy it. I like how it looks, and I think that actually has a lot of weight. I think it's really cool. It's maybe not like the greatest, kind of Euro game, or the things it does aren't the best. But yeah, it's just a really like solid game is how I describe it. The only thing I think actually my biggest annoyance with it is it's one of those games where there's like, because there's all these different actions, there's like 70 different baggies when you get it out, and everything has to go separately, like in and out, and it's a bit tedious to set up, I think.
I've seen some amazing organisers for this that are all like in the like Islamic art style that are like so nice, but you need a 3D printer. That's what I said. I was like, I want a 3D printer because I want to print a Merv organiser. It's so nice.
Well, that would be good. But yeah. So that's Merv. We might review it, we might not. It depends. I think we want to play it with more people a few more times. We've mainly played at 2, once with 3. Yeah. But yeah, we just want to try it a bit more, I think, if we come to that.
I always look forward to playing it.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to play it now that we've just talked about it.
Yeah, because we haven't played it in a little bit, So the next award is going to be the frustration of people walking very slowly in front of you award for frustration. And that goes to Le Havre. Tally, do you want to explain why it's won this award?
Thinking about it now, it's making me really annoyed. So we played this, twice now? Did we play it twice?
Twice.
Yeah. I just cannot figure out how to keep up with the food requirements. So that at the end of every round, you basically have to pay your workers or your...
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're paying.
I think you're paying like the people on the docks or
something
like
you're feeding people.
But you only get 3 turns per round in a
3 or 4, depends which way you go. Because there's 7 spaces and it ends when someone gets it. And this is a 2-player, it'll change if you play 3 or 4.
So you're supposed to have all of these different cards in front of you representing different buildings around the docks that can like get you more resources and build certain buildings, and that gets you points at the end. Yeah. But at the end of every round you have to pay your workers, and the amount of food that you have to pay increases every round. And I just cannot get ahead in the food production. So I just feel like I'm spending the entire game trying to like tread water to just pay the workers, and then I end up with hardly any buildings. Whilst
I have like 30 buildings. Here
has got like a sprawling little town on his side of the river.
Well, I think
drives me insane. I just don't understand. He's got like stacks of resources, and I'm like, how are you getting so much? And I can't even feed the dock workers. It just infuriates me.
So the last time we played, I think the score difference was I had 252 francs. You had like 74 or something.
It wasn't even that. It was less than that.
54
sure.
then.
Yeah, something like that.
And it was just like, she was getting so angry and like so frustrated that I was honestly like, please, can we stop playing? Because I honestly thought I was going to end up hurt.
I would say I'm not proud of my reaction, but at the same time, I don't care. It was really annoying. I was so annoyed.
But so the thing is as well is that I think in the first game it got away from you, because one of the keys in Le Havre to fulfilling this quota is you can buy ships, and they're expensive and you have to work towards them. But ships basically give you 4 food every turn. It depends on how good a ship it is. And this offsets what you need, and if you get enough ships, you never even have to worry about food. Or if you have other systems, like say if you go for the cattle, you're getting meat's worth a lot of food, like offset. So, and in the first game you had that where you had the docks and you had the ship, and then it just kind of got away from you somehow, because I was in a much worse position, and I think you never really kept going with it.
But you're saying you say it like it's easy to get ships, but it's not, because you need 5 wood. No, you need 5 wood and you need energy to produce everything. So you still have to have quite a lot of resources to even get that, because you've only got 3 or 4 turns every time. I could just never get enough resources to get the wood and be able to pay the food cost at the end. I kind of want to give it another go now, but the thing is as well, it's quite a long game. Yeah, it takes a long time, so I was just annoyed for hours.
Yeah, this is what I want to say as well. The thing with Le Havre is that it's not that... Yeah, it wasn't one of my favourites, I'll say. I think there's nothing wrong with it. I think that maybe for me coming to it now, and I think it's been around for almost 20 years or something, maybe 15, and it feels like that when I played it for me. I was just like, I don't know, I think I didn't really connect with it so much. And because what you say about the playtime, even at 2, it's really long. And the weird thing is the gameplay that you're doing doesn't feel like it deserves to be as long as it is, because your turns are quite quick and what you're doing isn't complex in any way. But then it just stretches out to 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
I wouldn't be able to pinpoint why it takes so long.
No, it's just because there's so many rounds, I think. And you must have... Even if, say, you do 3 and it's 3 times 14, so you get that many turns in a game, right? And the thinking time and the opponent's turn. And I don't know what it would be like with 3 or 4 players, which is the issue, because I'm maybe I'd like it more at 3 or 4 players, but then...
It's a time investment.
I just don't know if I'd want to get it out over anything else with that, and know that would be the entire night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I'm
maybe
sure we will at some point, right?
I mean, maybe I'm being unfair to it. I think probably am, but it was just a bit because it's so long. I just didn't find it super like. I don't know. Yeah, really. For
Probably
me.
didn't help that I moaned the entire.
Yeah, maybe that's it. All right. So yeah, that was the frustration award.
Most raisin juicing.
To Le Havre.
What's up next?
So the next award is the I'm Not Dead award for Great Western Trail. And it receives that coveted award because this was a game that we got and we enjoyed very much. And then it got shelved for like almost a year. And now it's been gotten out like 3 times in a couple of weeks or something.
Consecutive weeks with our friends as well. They wanted to play, we all wanted to play it on a Wednesday. Then the next Wednesday we were like, Great Western Trail again. So
I think one of the reasons actually is that it's a great game. Like we both love it. I particularly really like the hand management. Like so, it's pretty Alexander Fistery where you're looping around the board, and you stop in each location. You do an action. You do better and better, and you get a better and better engine each turn. And it's really classic Euro. But I really like the hand management because you're bringing cows to market and you want to get to the market and have like a really good hand, and they all have to be different. And I really like that aspect of it. I just think it's really fun. Something about it just like
good at it as well. You
tickles my brain.
Get rid of the rubbish
loser cows.
Yeah, the loser cows in favour of the posh cows.
Yeah, but the reason I think it got shelved is because we got it, and then we got Maracaibo soon after, and they're both different enough, but they're also very similar. And we just ended up playing a lot of Maracaibo because we wanted to review it because it was quite a new game, and then everyone just kind of enjoyed it a lot. So it was always like the friends that we played with, or it was like, let's play Maracaibo again, and and one of them had never played this, and he really likes Maracaibo, so that was another thing. So it was like a new game. And anyway, we just finally, I think, because of the new edition that's been announced and we were just talking about it, I was like, hey everyone, we're getting out tonight. And then, he loved it so much. He was like, let's play again next week. And we were like, yep. And we did. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Great Western?
Yeah, I do really like it. I'm rubbish at it. I'm rubbish at every Alexander Pfister game. The only one I've won is Isle of Skye, and that doesn't even count as like the semi-party game.
She's never won
Never.
A big box Alexander Pfister
game. Cloud Age, Maracaibo.
No. Oh, we must have played like 30 games all told or something.
Played so much Maracaibo. I'm rubbish at it, but I always enjoy it, and I think that's always a good...
Yeah, it's a good fun.
Not like Laugh, where I was really annoyed. I really enjoy playing it despite being absolutely rubbish at them for some reason. Just something doesn't work with my brain, I guess. But no, I really like it. It's really good fun. Yeah. And also we played another game, didn't we, where there was just 3 of us, and it actually went quite quick.
Of what?
Great Western.
Oh, I don't think it was quick still. It was quicker than 4.
I think it was quicker than I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah,
it's because we were all just sort of nailing the actions, and it went much quicker than I thought. So
I think
it depends like how.
One thing I really like as well actually is that so you have your own personal buildings that do actions and you put them down on the trail and only you can do them. And there's 2 sides, so you can choose to play with one side or the other. And I really like that actually really changes up kind of how things go as well. It had more of an impact than I thought. And also you randomize the neutral tiles, which all have kind of the same action or whatever. They might even be, no, they're not double-sided, but you randomize them and it really changes how the game plays depending what goes where. Like if you can get a bunch of money and then go to the cow market, everyone's probably going to focus on getting really good cows. But if it's you can get a lot of money and then go to where you buy workers, like people will turn to that. And it really does change, like depending what's where. How the game goes. I just think that's quite cool.
I think what's quite nice about it as well, you can feel free to like explore some more tiles than like say Maracaibo, because it's a race to the end of the loop every round, whereas this isn't. It just continues to play. If someone gets to the end, they just go, but the other players carry on. And I love Maracaibo obviously, but that's also quite nice in comparison because you can take your time a little bit more to do the actions that you actually want to do rather than worrying about getting to the end of the loop.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you have to race off rather than optimize.
Yeah, But yeah, no, it's really good. I want to play this again now.
Yeah. So I think my final thought is actually I almost feel a bit guilty because I always thought that I was like, oh yeah, Maracaibo and this are pretty level actually. Now having gone back to it, I'm like, yeah, it might actually be better than Maracaibo. So which is, I almost feel bad, but I like them both.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I think if you're wondering to get one or the other, I personally think that it's worth owning both. I think they're different
I'd agree with that. So the next award is the Beige Traders Award. And that goes to...
All of these awards are very coveted.
Only one can win per month. And I think I already know which one's going to win that next month. But yeah, Hansa Teutonica. This is something we played for the first time maybe this month as well. We've played quite a few games of it actually. Besides My City, I think it's our most played game out of this stack. Because we've also found a really good scripted mod on Tabletop Simulator that we've been playing with some friends who live abroad. Although we also live abroad, but... yeah, so basically it's very intuitive, very simple. And it's very interactive, surprisingly, for like a Euro putting cubes down. It's like all you do on your turn is you put these little cubes down and you create trade routes. And when you're done with these trade routes, you can like either take all the cubes off to basically kind of control the city on one side or the other. Or you can maybe, if you're in the right place, like upgrade something on your board by taking them away. There's a few other things, like you can get these special like bonus action tokens, but yeah, and that's kind of it. And there's a lot of strategy, and like it's amazing what they do and how deep this game is with so few and so simple like actions.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of decisions to be made.
Yeah, it's really crazy because like depending what you focus on and depending what the other players do, totally different game, totally different like outcome.
That's something that I was a bit worried about, right? When we've played like the first game or two, I was like, surely you're just going to end up just doing the same things all the time because there's nothing that pushes you in a certain direction. It's just completely everything
there's no
starts
luck.
The same. There's no
luck.
Asymmetry, anything like
Zero
that.
luck.
So I was just like, oh, but surely if you know that one strategy works, you're always just going to go for that. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't play out like that. I think it will depend a lot on who you play with and what they decide to do, because it is a bit like, I think you do have to be a bit like, I actively decide to do a different strategy from one game to another. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try getting out all of my cubes to go for this part or this part, rather than keep doing the same thing. But it just depends what the other players are doing, and quite funny. Isn't it?
It's
because
so
you
funny.
can annoy each other.
Well, it's
so
a good
much.
strategy to annoy each other because you get free cubes if you block people off on the routes they're trying to do. So if you can do it, so like you could be more interested in the adjacent route, but if you block them off, then you get like double the cubes for for no action really. So it's like, but yeah, like our friend. So we introduced it to them, and the second game, our friend won because he was just like, right, all he did was get in everyone's way. I don't think he ever tried to do really anything himself. And he just like nailed it because everyone was just moving his cubes and he was getting so much. But that's what I like as well. I always really enjoy when you look back on like, so we've played this, I think like 6 or 7 times. And I think someone different has won every single time, more or less. And I always find that really cool because it means that it's like intuitive, easy to grasp, like, you can really introduce it to anyone, and also there's no luck involved, so it means that like again it's the interaction of the players, but everyone has a chance. And I just really like that in some games because it's like if you play like a Euro game, right, some people might just be better. It's like I generally win the Alexander Feister games. But like this is like dead even. Like again, people that have played it like twice are like whipping me, right? It's just quite cool.
Yeah, and our friends that we play it with on Tabletop Simulator are not gamers. We're working on it though quite successfully, I feel. But they were just able to pick it up like pretty easily. Yeah. So that's really good as well.
Yes. So that was Beige Trader Award. All right. So now we're down to the last 2 awards, but no less prestigious. So the next award is the Daytime TV Award for Oceans. And basically Oceans gets the Daytime TV Award because It's inoffensive, but I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my life playing it. I think it's very, I don't know, like a little bit, I don't know, bland sounds really mean, and I don't mean that, but it's really like, I don't know, there was no hook for me. Fishing pun. Yeah, so Oceans is kind of like a little, almost tableau builder, but you're just playing cards in front of you and you have a species. And like, I really like the idea behind it, but you basically play a bunch of traits, like evolutionary traits on a fish. So they may be predatory, or, you know, they have ink so they can defend themselves. And it's basically about like having a little balance. It's like a spinning plates game where you need them to have fish because they lose fish at the end of the game, end of each round. And the fish that they lose are your victory points. So you want to have a lot, but really you can't have a lot because they need to balance out. But you can also like symbiote off each other, where like when this fish does something, these fish get powers because these fish get powers. So yeah, and it's just and there's a little bit of interaction. You can like attack other players, steal their fish, leech from them. But yeah, Oceans, what do you think?
I got into it a bit more when we played it the last time, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe just because you get to know what the cards can do a little bit more.
Well,
and then we introduced the deep cards, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a bit more interesting as well, because the base cards are a bit repetitive. Yeah, so it is a bit like...
There's only like 8 or 10 different ones.
Yeah.
And then, so the deep cards, basically, every card is, I think, unique or more or less unique. And you actually spend your victory point fish to get them. So it's like a gamble, but they're all really powerful, and they can really they're all and unique as well. So it's like a lot more interesting to introduce them. And that did make me like it a bit more. It definitely gives it the edge it kind of needs. But
I like how like Farrell was saying, you count up the fish. So each of your species ages 1 or 2 fish every round, and that's your victory points, but you hide it behind a little screen.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Counting up the fish at the end of the game. Because we like anything where the winner isn't immediately obvious until the end of the game, to keep the tension up. And that's like even more so, like more than a victory point tracker, because it's literally hidden. That's quite cool. The art is like obviously super nice as well. I think that carries a lot of it for me. Like,
it looks nice. There's like a 3D
really
stuff to store the fish, like the shared fish in the middle.
I think one thing though, like for me, because it is so interactive, like you were saying, this fish player, the next whale cleaner to the left, if that does that, you get that. But I always find it difficult in these games to really keep track of what people have got, because I could be sat here and you're sat over there, someone else is sat there, and you have to I don't know, like look around all the time, and it can be a bit easy to miss stuff. I mean, I don't know what the solution is, but I'm just saying it's you have to keep track of like what cards everyone has, and because in the end you could have like multiple different species or different traits, and you have to really be like concentrating quite hard, like okay, that person has that type of fish, and whenever they do that I get this, and just going through and like checking all the time to make sure you don't miss something. But yeah, I don't know what to say about it apart from that. I quite like it. I don't love it, but I don't hate. I feel bad because it's nice. Yeah, that's why it gets the daytime TV award.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It's pleasing, but it's just, I don't know. There's other stuff I'd rather watch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Grand Designs or Antiques Roadshow is fine. Like, but I mean, you can also watch Peaky Blinders, right? So
that's true.
But yeah, so that is. I think that just sums it up really well. Yeah. Okay, so the final award is the No, You Can't Do That award, which goes to Brass Birmingham. Basically because we played this, I think, 2 times maybe this month, and obviously we played loads before that. But we actually played this on our anniversary while having cocktails, which was super fun.
That's true.
And we taught it to a friend, and this is like one of maybe the only classic games he hadn't played that we've had. And yeah, it was pretty, I wouldn't say disastrous, but obviously there was so much like, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do it.
And
no, you're not connected to Cole.
Haven't we? We were just like, and he was like, what?
I think I would say that I probably didn't, well, I don't know. Maybe I didn't teach it super well, but the problem is everyone we play with for like last year really knows this game, like know it really well, and they don't need like any instruction. And he's the first person I've had to teach it to since we've got it almost. And that's, yeah, I just don't think I did super, because I was like, everything's so internalized now. It was like, I wasn't, I think, expressing really well. And then, yeah.
He was bamboozled. I've never seen him so confused.
Yeah.
I could see steam coming out of his ears.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So I felt really bad because every time he tried to do something, like, you can't do that. No, there's no call. No, it's not connected. No, that's not the right card. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it was his fault for bringing red wine round, quite frankly. So just
Yeah. But so yeah, that was. But no, I mean, obviously we reviewed Brass Birmingham. It's one of our favourites all time. It's just so, I don't know, soothing to playing. Like it's really, I think it's just a perfectly designed game. Like it's maybe not the most exciting game. I think we said that in our review, right? Like you finish and there's nothing to discuss really in terms of like cool things happening, but such a great game.
So good. And you have to listen to Red Right Hand.
Red Right Hand, Peaky Blinders music.
Play it. Yeah. It's mandatory.
Mandatory. But yeah, so Brass Birmingham, you can't do that award. And I feel quite bad about that because I've definitely said a few times online that like, I think the rules, like I know they're tricky to grasp, but I've always said once you get them, they're actually like quite easy. Like you never lose them, and then it was really disastrous. So I was like, oh.
No, but it's true. Like it's some games that we don't play for a while. I mean, we played Brass Birmingham and a month. We haven't played it for a little while. Mm-hmm. Some games that you go that long with a gap, you have to revisit the rules. That is just like, it's like riding a bike. That you never.
Yeah,
forget
exactly.
it now. Like for us, it's just so easy. So yeah, I think you're right. Like once you have it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I will never forget because of the rules where it says like, because it's historically backed, where it's like iron can be transported by anywhere because it was needed in small amounts, so it could go by horse, whereas coal's needed in large amounts, so it has to go by canal, and so it has to be connected. So that was the thing. I always will remember that now. Like no matter how many years it goes between playing it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was a look back at March 2021. Got it right. And so if you like this, I think we'll keep going because we definitely would love to hear what you think about these games and discuss it with you, and also just give our opinions, and you can tell us if we're wrong, like about Le Havre, or give Tally tips. But yeah, I think as a sneak preview, if we do this again next month, which I'd like to because it's quite fun for us, we're probably going to be talking about some roll and rights, flip and rights, because we've started this month playing Railroad Inc.
Time.
And yeah, our first roll and rights, Railroad Inc. And welcome to New Las Vegas, which we've quite enjoyed. And we've played both those a couple of times, they're quite quick. We have been absolutely rinsing Praga Kaput. Mm-hmm. That's one of my new favourites, I would say, and I very much would like to do a review of it. Yeah. So I think we would definitely be talking about that. We've also got the new Komet Kickstarter, Blood and Sand, that's arrived, and we really enjoyed that the first 2 times we played. So that's going to be played and coming out. I think we're playing it tonight, actually.
Oh, are we? Mm-hmm. Oh, what a treat.
And
I never know about these things. I just get informed like an hour
you just
before,
expect to play.
yeah. It's like,
you're going to play something, you just don't know how many people and what.
Exactly, yeah. I never know the details, only that we'll be playing something.
Yeah. And the big reveal is going to be Oath. We're going to be getting that, and that's supposed to come like tomorrow, hopefully, I think. And we're literally going to be playing the hell out of that and hopefully getting a review out really quickly. You obviously will want to play it enough, but I'm going to like slave drive all my friends like round here to like no, you can't go home, you have to play another game of Oath. So yeah, so that's what you got to look forward to. There'll be a few more, like we'll bring back some old ones as well. I think we want to review 1960, so we'll probably play that a couple more times and talk about that. But yeah, so we hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment and let us know what you think about the games or what you've played, or any comments or strategies or suggestions. And please, if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already. And thanks so much for watching.
Can I just give a little shout out for the Instagram?
Yes, you may.
Please follow us on Instagram. It's @BoredOfItReviews. I'm posting most days on there, so You probably get a little sneak preview of what we'll be talking about in for the April look back as well.
So the Instagram is Tally's baby, so please go and look at the Instagram.
Look at my Instagram.
All right, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.